my background is actually in health and fitness. I was in the health and fitness industry for 10 years before I went full time last year in network marketing. In the particular company that we're going to talk about today, actually. But long story short, lots of trials and tribulations, lots of ups and downs. It wasn't until 2020 where I really made the decision to actually go all in on 7K and go all in on gold and silver, knowing how valuable the product really is. And what I come to understand really throughout that process and this 3-year period that we've been running with 7K is the understanding of people not actually being educated in the space. So our main goal is to help people understand gold and silver better, to understand what it is, and to understand what they're buying, so to become a qualified buyer, so they're not just going out and just all over the place just buying what they think they need. They actually have some strategy around what they're doing. It's really, really important. I've talked to a lot of people over the last 3 years, and the main reason people fail, not only in this industry, but when they go to do anything in general, is they don't have any direction. So our job is to help you guys. I guess everybody's going to have a different plan. Everybody's going to have a slightly different strategy, but our goal is to, again, it's to facilitate. Okay, it's not here to push you to do things you don't want to do. Okay, we're not going to force you to do something that you don't want to do. That's not what we're here for. We're here to support you, okay, in times of need, I would say, for a lot of people. If you think about and you look around, you can see a lot of people are struggling. That's why we have these particular platforms that help support us, and I guess provide platforms that are going to help us as we move into the future, the near future, and obviously the distant future. So I'm going to hand it over to Maddie, and we're going to run through this strategy. We'll go slowly because I think it is important that if there's more people that do jump on, we don't kind of want to go back. I know this is being recorded for anybody that's jumping on in the next 5 or 10 minutes. So I'll pass over to you, Maddie, and yep. You can take it through it.
Yeah, that's fine. So I've been playing around with this company for probably over 12 months now. So been working really well, been collecting gold and silver, which is great. So what I want to do is I'm going to jump into my back office and I'll just show you the strategy of what I've been doing, using profits to purchase physical assets. So I'll just share my screen. I'll jump in. So I'll just take them and show them through the Sam Money Wallet, the strategy. Yeah, Cole.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Yep.
We'll just
so
this is into it.
Yeah. So this is just the back office of the 7K. So we'll go into the Sam Money Wallet. A lot of you aren't going to know what the Sam Money Wallet is. I've mentioned to a couple of people, but it might be pretty new to. You can probably just cover a few things while I'm doing this if you want, Cole.
Yeah, totally. So the Sam Money Wallet is quite a clever piece of technology. There's been people like JP Morgan and MasterCard that have actually wanted to purchase this technology, but 7K is a private company. And yeah, that they believe in a lot of the things we believe, like helping people and not helping big institutions, big banks, and people that don't really have our, I guess, us in mind. So basically, the Sam Money Wallet allows us to fractionally buy gold and silver, right? There's 4 different asset classes, and Maddie's going to bring some up in a sec. So we've got silver eagles, okay? So 1 ounce silver eagles, 1 ounce gold eagles, okay? And then you got 100 ounce silver bars and 1 ounce gold bars. Now, generally, from what I've experienced in the last 3 years, one of the main conversations that I have with people is they struggle to penetrate the gold and silver space because either they don't have enough money to get involved, they don't have enough money to get involved, or they just generally don't know what to buy or who to trust, right? So what we have here, if we look at what Maddie's doing here, we can actually fractionally buy. So what we're doing is opening up the ability for the average person, and I don't really like using that word, but the average family, should I say, to penetrate the gold and silver market. Meaning all of what you see here, so say that $198, $198.67 with the 100-ounce silver bars, that is backed by real inventory, meaning that it's privately secured in a non-segregated vaulting space in Idaho Falls, and they have 2 other vaults as well. Now, the real key thing here and the strategy we want to teach you to tonight is basically to understand the importance of when your profits come out the other side of whatever platform you're operating in, right? If you're operating in a platform that's providing rewards, okay, if that's in cryptocurrency or fiat currency, to use those rewards and actually look after yourself long term by diversifying into tangible assets. And tangible assets means that these assets that are in this wallet can be delivered at any time. So you can have them delivered to your house. We're open in 9 countries, okay, right now. I'm not going to rattle those countries off, but yeah, if you guys have any questions at the end, please don't hesitate to ask. I've had pretty much every question under the sun asked to me, including some that Maddie had in the beginning stages. But yeah, we're just enjoying it. We're having fun. You know, we're helping people diversify because in this economy, we really don't know what's going to happen. I'll be honest with you, like, I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't guarantee anything, and I'm not going to guarantee anything. But, you know, I'm huge on helping people understand that, you know, the past with gold and silver, there's a huge track record here. There's been a market for gold and silver for a long time, and it's survived so many economic crises that it's an absolute no-brainer. So, you know, we just want to help you guys penetrate this, you know, the gold and silver space and do it fractionally so you're not putting yourself out on the street. So I'll pass back to you, Maddie, and we might start to look at going over the strategy.
Yeah. All right. So, so simply my strategy is I've got my Wirex card or any crypto card. So I've got my Wirex card linked to this Sam Money wallet. So any profits are used from Validus or any profit you want to use from any platform, I can I simply just send them from Validus to my Wirex, load that up, and then I can just I can do a demo here, so I can show you. It pretty much goes instant. So this Silver Eagles, if I wanted to buy some of that, I can just go in here. I can click buy, and then it can say, right, you click on your buy here, and then you just type in how much you want to buy. So I can just put in 100. Use the credit card. And it's going to say, right, that's your card that's linked to Sam Money Wallet. And then
you just got to put in that CVV there. Yeah. That card CVV.
Yep.
Right. So once he's put in the card CVV, as soon as he buys it, it'll arrive immediately. Okay. And that's immediately meaning the actual physical asset, the monetary value that's sitting there is backed up by real inventory. So he'll show you in a sec here.
Done.
So done, and you'll see it reflect in the balance in a second. And it's right there.
Yep.
So it's that simple. It's that simple. So who here has a Wirex card? Everybody's got a Wirex card? Or some sort of cryptocurrency card, or even a bank card. If you still use banks, like I've got $3 sitting in my bank account. I don't use banks. I don't really believe in the banking system. That's just me personally, though. And I'm a bit of a digital nomad, so I travel a lot. So I've just got a Wirex card and a Wise card. So yeah, so goal really here is using your crypto, okay, and diversifying. So we're just going to run a scenario here, Maddie. For example, like,
yep.
If somebody has, say, 10,000 invalid, I want you to run a scenario here, and then I can walk through a potential strategy that could be used.
Yep. So if we're talking about, you know, if people have anything between, they might have 1,000 or 5,000 in profits, you know, they can have anything like that. So they could go, right, I'm going to do withdrawal from Validus. I'll move, say, the 1,000 into Wirex, and then from Wirex, as you've seen, I can just move that straight into here. Now, as you've seen that I've just bought the Silver Eagles, I can leave that in there, right? And that's just going to move with the market. Or if I said, right, I want to have physical assets in my house, I can organize to have that delivered. You know, it's pretty quick, isn't it, Kyle, with a delivery to your house?
Yeah, it's about 5 days.
Yeah.
Like 7 days would be a longer, depending on, at the moment it's been around 5 to 7 days, just purely because there's so much demand.
Yeah.
There's so many people buying gold and silver at the moment. It's just absolutely crazy. And I can see why you guys are here, obviously, because you're interested to find an easy way and a fractional way to do this whole gold and silver thing. I think a lot of people get confused.
Yeah.
They don't know what to buy, and this just really gives people lots of
well, it's options too,
clarity.
Paul, because isn't there people that are using, say, if you've got other people that are a 7K member, you can actually move funds between your Sam Money wallet to their money wallet. You know, there's a lot of things that this system opens up.
Yeah, totally. Like, so, but what Maddie's saying there is basically, if you're inside the 7K ecosystem, you can send member to member, and it costs you nothing. Okay, so the real value here and the proposition behind this is that, you know, we can interact peer to peer in actual physical assets. So this type of thing has never been done before. People are quite wowed when they see this technology and how easy it is to migrate through the interface, like what this actually looks like. This is actually 2.0. So when I first started with 7K 3 years ago, this is an upgrade. We didn't actually have 100-ounce bars or 1 ounce gold bars either. We just had the Silver Eagles and the Gold Eagles. And the reason why they've picked these 4 assets, particularly the Silver Eagles, is because they're actually legal tender. Meaning, like, if you know if the economy was to fall over, right, they're tradable, they're usable, right, they're recognized globally. So it is important to hold Silver Eagles. And as you can see, you know, at the moment, you're looking at, for a Silver Eagle, it says they're 48.65 an ounce, right? And if you were to like Google what's the price of silver right now, it'll give you $25. And the reason for that is because there's a thing called premium, right? There's premium on every gold and silver asset, no matter where you go. It is important to understand that. The reason the premiums are high on the 1 ounce gold and silver Eagles is because they're scarce and so many people want to get hold of them. In Australia and New Zealand, trust me, I've looked and tried to find gold and silver Eagles. You can't get them anywhere. So anywhere local, I can't get them, and they're the asset that I want and the asset that I encourage people to have because they're world renowned. So I just wanted to touch on that. Maybe we'll do a transaction too, Maddie. I'll send you.
Yep.
I'll jump into my Sound Money wallet on my end. Just while you chat there.
Yep.
And I'll send you across, and you can show the transaction landing. How's that sound?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is just quickly log into my back office on my phone, and I'm going to send Maddie across. Once this works, I'm going to send him across some gold and silver from my Sound Money wallet. All right, Maddie. So what's your username? So number one, what asset class do you want?
Silver's fine.
So yeah, which one? You want
Silver
bars
Eagles.
or Eagles? You want
Yeah.
Eagles?
Eagles are fine. Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, so we just go here. Can you walk them through how this works on this end, Maddie? So click on the silver eagles.
Yep.
Click on the silver eagles there. I'm just gonna, just so we're transparent here and they can see it happen.
Into.
Okay. Yeah. So click on that. Okay. You're gonna scroll down. Right to the bottom.
Yep.
Keep going. Keep going. Okay. So see where it says search friend. This is what I'm doing on my end. So I'm searching for Maddie. So what's your username?
Well, it should just be Matt Shee. Same as up top here.
Cool.
Yep. It's Matt Shee with 2 T's.
2 T. Oh, 2 T's or 1 T?
Yeah, it should be the username should be Matt Shee 123 with 2 T's.
One, two, three. With 2 T's, did you say?
Should be. Yep.
All right, we might need it. And then you said 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Okay, so MAT. Just spell it out for me.
MATTSHEEHY. 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah. Why is it not coming up? 1, 2, 3. So MATSHEENY, is that right?
No, HY. SHEEHY.
SHEEHY. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Oh, it's not coming up. Maybe can you? Oh, where does it?
I'd have to get out of it and go back to my
Now click on the top. Click on Sound Money Wallet on that other tab. Oh, okay. Let me try that again. MATT. Just stay on that for a sec, Maddie. SHEEHY.
It's all lowercase too.
Oh, that'll be why.
Yep, it's all lowercase.
There we go. Okay, cool. Got you.
All right.
Got over that hurdle. Okay, cool. So from there, what I'll do, so go back to the top, Maddie. Oh, sorry, no, stay down there. So when you're down there, obviously, Maddie, I would have added Maddie's name to my list of friends. So I'll just get you to search for me, Maddie. So and you just add me as a friend. So just go success with Cole. Now success with Cole. So S, yeah, 2 C's, 2 S's with, yeah, COEL. Cool. And then he just goes add friend. So just add friend there.
Yep.
Cool. And then what I'm doing on my end right now is I'm just clicking on the name. So you click on the name, just do it as an example. Cool. And then you just send, yeah, so send silver eagle. So I'll send you some on my end. So just hold off for a sec. I'll send $10 worth so we can show you guys that it's fractional.
Yeah.
Just got that, boom. $10 worth. Just put a little note there. And send. Done. Perfect. Okay. So just refresh your screen there for me. All right, cool. So scroll down. All right, there it is, right there.
Yep.
So that's how easy it is. So we can transact peer to peer. I know that took long, guys. I apologize. I was like trying to get his name right. So yeah, but it is really, really easy once you get used to it. People have used the technology to purchase goods and services. Just remember that this is a vault. Okay, so it is a private vaulting space. It is audited, right? Quite regularly actually, and it's backed by some of the biggest, I guess, the biggest insurers of precious metals in the industry. They don't do things lightly here. They showed us one of the vaults actually on one of the calls, and he's like, yeah, just down that one side there's $30 million. Like, and that's just on one side of the vault, and the vault went right round like that. So they're carrying a lot. That's just in one vault. They've got 3 vaults, and the goal really long term is for us in Australia, if we can keep spreading the message, okay, and teaching the strategy for people to dollar cost average, not only into crypto, but dollar cost average into gold and silver using, fractional buying like this. Eventually our goal is to get a vault down under here in Australia. And that way we can, when we do get to that stage, we'll have the ability to do things like backing up our superannuation. I know that some people, personally, I don't have any superannuation. I pulled it out, but a lot of people do have superannuation. And we want to use that as a strategy and say, look, hey, you can back your superannuation up with gold and silver instead of backing it, having it floating in the stock market and, offering up all of that third-party counter risk. Just remember that gold and silver are tier 1 assets. And I said this to Maddie the other day, it's important to understand that when you're building a wealth strategy, you want to build a wealth strategy with a foundation first. So, looking at something that has a track record, looking at something that has some solidity, and then, you might start looking at more speculative plays. But, at the end of the day, guys, it's your money. It's your profits. We're just here to facilitate. So if there's any questions that you do have surrounding this, or anything surrounding, especially 7K or the Sound Money wallet, particularly the Sound Money wallet, obviously, because that's what we're showcasing tonight. We will go deeper into the sharing model as well. There is a sharing model where you can actually save gold and silver, obviously, but you can also be paid to do that. So that's completely optional. A bit like Validus as well. There's nobody holding a gun to your head saying you have to share it. But there is that option for people that want to make more cash flow.
Hey, Cole, do you just want to touch base on some of the questions I had with some people recently about the threshold, where a lot of people have the question, how does it get through customs? So as you know, there's a threshold of an amount of how much we can get through while it passes through.
Yeah, cool. Totally. I'll share a little bit of a story of an experience I had with a local mint. I won't say the mint, but a good friend of mine actually shared this story with me about their experience with a local mint that actually basically gave them an IOU and said, look, there's a thing called allocated and non-allocated gold and silver. So this is what we call allocated gold and silver, right? Meaning like you can have it delivered at any time. So this particular story was a guy that went to a particular mint. I won't say any names on here. I won't drop any name bombs. But he went to this particular mint and he wanted to get his gold and silver. He wanted to have it allocated, and they said, sorry, we don't have your gold and silver. So there's people out there that are selling you gold and silver that they don't actually have. So I just want to share with you that 7K obviously has a surplus, 10 to 15% surplus on everything they hold in their vaults. Meaning if me, you, and everybody else, when I'm having all of my assets delivered, it wouldn't matter, right? They'll just ship them out, right? Because they're there and they're actually backed. So when it comes to thresholds, I just wanted to share that first. When it comes to thresholds and actually delivering, it is important to understand that if you want your gold and silver to fly under the radar, okay, the training is really a really good starting point. I know that Maddie understands this, so that's why he has a little bit more knowledge as well. He's built knowledge over the last year in this space because he's done the training. 7K offers up some brilliant, easily digestible training that teaches you the importance of buying particular gold and silver that is actually non-reportable assets. Okay, so that's one thing, knowing what you're buying, right, and buying it for a particular reason so that you're not going to have governments and different people coming at you saying, oh, you need to pay tax on your assets, or if you go to sell them. So it is important to have this knowledge base around what you're actually doing, number one, and why you're doing it. So the threshold when it comes into the country, what we encourage people to do is to what I call micro buy. Okay, so don't go out and macro buy from the US. So say if I was to do a purchase of $20,000 US in gold and silver, or gold or silver, doesn't matter, and I try to have that delivered back to Australia, it's probably going to get flagged because it is a big transaction and it is a lot of assets. Number one, I wouldn't hold 20 more than $20,000 of assets in my home. It's not a very smart idea, but look, some people do, right? So when it comes through customs, it's important to keep it under a certain threshold. We always go with like 1,000 is usually the mark. We go for, if you can keep it under that $1,000 mark. So scroll up a bit, Maddie. So if Maddie was to deliver, say, that 116 there, that 2 point, obviously that's going to come through, no worries. Okay. But if you're looking at anything kind of over, if that's like 1,500, so if you go out and buy like 40 silver eagles at the current market value, I mean, you'd be treading on thin ice. Okay. So it is important to understand that. And the reason I use this strategy is because, and encourage people to use the strategy, is because we don't want them to know that we have physical assets, because it's our self-insurance policy, especially bullion. What we're looking at now is bullion, right? That is bullion, silver bullion. So getting it through customs, okay, is one thing, and it's something you'll learn over time. Keep it under that threshold if you're buying locally. So if you're wanting to buy, like Cole, you're like, Cole, like I want to go down the road and I want to buy like $100,000 worth of bars, silver bars, for example. I wouldn't say don't do it. I would say adopt this particular strategy. When you go down the road and you get those silver bars, right? Keep it under, do the micro buying strategy. Keep it under a certain threshold as well. So some of them have transactional value depending on where you go. So if you go to somewhere and they say you have to fill out paperwork if it's over 5,000, well, obviously what you're going to do is not buy something over 5,000. Okay, that is important to know. And just with what we're looking at here in the Sound Money Wallet, it is important to know that none of this information is passed on. It's a private vaulting space. There's a difference between a public vaulting space, okay, or a security box to something like this, because it's a private company. Okay, so they obviously don't share your information. Okay, it's up to you. It's on you to, if you want to declare that you've got 1,000 ounces of silver sitting in the 7K vaults, then that's up to you, right? But that's just, that's kind of that. Did that cover that question, Maddie?
Yeah, that's fine.
Good?
And I suppose a little bit that I want to touch base on is, why I think it's so powerful is because you're not injecting any new money from your own bank. You simply can just use profits to, say, your Wirex card to purchase silver, gold. You can use this as a transaction to other members. You can use crypto to bring in. So by using that system, it's all offline.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all offline. So it's a very smart strategy, and especially holding physical assets.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So you're actually, some people call it the cycle of wealth. So you're moving, because remember, guys, that wealth is transferred, right? It doesn't just go out into the abyss, right? It gets moved from asset class to asset class, and that's what we're doing here. So we're actually adopting a strategy of the wealthy, right? So using your profits and investing in tangible assets is an absolute no-brainer. It's what the wealthy do. So I'm not doing this because I think it's a good idea or I think it might work, right? I'm doing it because it's what the wealthy actually do. You see what happens when people lose faith in the dollar, they start putting money into gold and silver. And you guys can probably see on the market that silver and gold are doing pretty well at the moment. And the reason for that is because people are losing faith in the dollar, and they're losing faith in the fiat money system, fiat monetary system. So all of this type of education is taught in 7K as well. I just will add that as well, Matty.
Yep. Yeah, that's good.
So any other questions? Is there any specific questions that you guys do have? Or is that pretty straightforward?
Yeah, everyone can unmute if you like, and we can
yeah, just unmute if you have any questions. Happy to answer. Oh, everybody's scared.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah,
many years ago, I used to work on a gold mine in WA, where all the governments were selling off their gold, right? And the gold price was $250 an ounce, but now it's only $2,000. So
yeah.
is that I wouldn't be happy to buy gold for that price.
Well, that's the thing. Like that's the thing. Like 250 back then. I think there's an example in the presentations that we do. If you'd bought like a certain amount of like $100 or $10,000 worth of gold when it was valued at pretty much what you just said, or you'd bought a house, you would be better off buying the gold. The gold would have appreciated more than the house, which is crazy, right? Which is crazy. You'd be in a better position from buying the gold. So the upside potential, it's a slow marketplace. It's not something where there's huge rapid movement. But what we know is at least we're protecting ourselves when the actual dollar is losing value. Okay, so the dollar is losing purchasing power, right, every day, because again, the dollar's not backed by anything. It used to be backed by gold. Okay, it used to be backed by gold in the 70s, right? And then President Nixon cut the gold standard, and then we were stuck with basically a paper dollar that isn't backed by anything, right? And they continue to print it, and this is why we're in this position with inflation. So what I will add is just remember that what we just showed you, for example, you don't actually have to buy, this is the beauty of it. You don't actually have to buy a whole ounce. So if Matty was to go to his gold balance, for example, so this is where we use what's called dollar cost averaging or fractional buying. Okay, so if he was to go back to his dashboard, scroll down, just go to like the gold bars there, Matty. Just click on the gold bars. So I'm not going to make Matty do a purchase. He's probably bought his $100 for this week. Maybe he's buying more, I don't know. But you can see the gold price at the moment, okay? 2100 basically, 2119. So here, I mean, he can buy like $2 worth, right? If he wants to. Okay, you're not going to be able to have that delivered, obviously, because it's not, you can't deliver $2 of gold. But the goal is to help people develop a better savings habit. Because generally people save in the dollar, and the dollar is losing value by the day. Okay, so this is why we teach that strategy. Hold things like Bitcoin, hold things like gold and silver, right? So hold your money in an asset that has not only solidity but has upside potential. So this is a lot less speculative than something like Bitcoin. Bitcoin has huge upside potential. I'm a big believer, obviously. But for something like gold and silver, it has the track record, it has the market cap, okay, and it has the story to back it up. So I hope that helped answer your question. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, I'm just curious to see how it all works. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
No, I know that's cool. Totally.
Yep. So a lot of people, John, as I was mentioning to you before, with this, is so instead of going to say bullion, or people are wanting to spend a lot of money on gold and silver, this is given the option to people where they can just add little bits and pieces that they want every week. They can build it up, and then once you get enough, then if you want, you can obviously deliver them to your place. So this is giving the option that, like Cole said, you can just buy $2. It's fractional. It's an option to buy fractional gold or silver.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there any other questions there?
Can you explain the silver dollar eagle?
Silver eagles.
What does that mean?
So silver. Do you want me to explain this, Maddie?
Yeah, you can go over it. Yep.
Yeah. So the silver eagle, is basically a type of coin that carries what's called legal tender, meaning it's been used in the past as real currency. Yeah. So So basically, this is why they selected silver eagles to have them in here, because they're so renowned, and they're quite difficult to get. I've experienced, trying to get it in New Zealand or Australia, and it's actually quite difficult. And it's not saying that you have to buy them, but like being able to, like Maddie said, fractionally dollar cost average in, every week, you take some of your profits from Validus, and you put them into tangible assets. You can have them delivered if you want. Maybe, everybody's scenario is going to be slightly different. Some people might be earning more rewards than others, and they might be able to go in and buy 10 ounces and have them delivered. But some people might be earning, $100 through their rewards. I honestly don't know, but it's going to be case by case. And yeah, the silver eagles are a powerful bullion for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
And they got a large range, John, of products too. So obviously they've got quite some rare coins, don't they, Carl? They've got some really rare coins that maybe they've only made 500 in the world. They've got a lot of products.
Yeah. So the flagship product in 7K is actually collectibles. And there's a reason for that, because there's a lot of regulation around what we're looking at now. So to even build this technology is just insane. And to back it up, like this is all backed up on a ledger, but like cryptocurrency. So say if the internet was to go down or something like that, they've got it all backed up, so they know exactly how many assets are in all the vaults, who's holding them, etc., etc. So they've pretty much thought of everything. The collectible range is they do some exclusive ranges that you can't get from anywhere else. And there's been stories actually of, if you guys don't know what the NGC is, this might be for another call, Maddie, because collectibles is a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
This is what gets me excited about this business, guys, is this product alone, right? This Sound Money wallet engine, right, alone it could have a business model built around it. You could build a business model around this one product, this one Sound Money wallet. Whereas there's other benefits as well when you become a member with 7K and you get started. Okay, but generally we start people here because it's about building your knowledge base, and then we move them into things like the importance of collectibles and diversifying inside of the realm of gold and silver. So collectibles is another whole, I could go on for another hour and a half about collectibles, but a lot of that's in the training as well. And education is key. It's king. It's king when it comes to when you're actually, building a wealth portfolio. It's so important to know what you're doing and have some sort of direction and clarity. Otherwise, you're kind of throwing mud against the wall and hoping it sticks, right? So,
hey, Carl, 7K also, 7K brought out a debit card too, didn't they?
So that debit card, unfortunately, they couldn't bring it to market.
Yep.
The reason for that is because of what happened with, you remember that bank, SVB,
yep.
right? So what actually happened was, that's one of the biggest banks. It's one of the most popular banks in Silicon Valley for startups, okay? And 7K shopped around. they shopped around. They shopped around with different banks all around the world to try to form a relationship, to launch a debit card, okay, that you could actually use your gold and silver, draw down on your actual gold and silver balance, and buy goods and services, like pay for fuel, go to the shop and get groceries, etc., etc. But they couldn't bring that to market. It's not saying they won't. There's a lot of regulation and red tape around that, and believe this, like JP Morgan, and there was a few others as well, that actually approached 7K and said, like, we want to buy this technology off you, and they said no. So like they said no to 3 or 4 different offers, and they weren't small offers, right? So they're doing things the right way. They have real integrity and they care about their members. The founders were already wealthy well before this. They built this platform basically because what me and Maddie are saying, to help the average person penetrate the gold and silver market, and to do it fractionally, and to learn more about collectibles and the upside potential of collectibles as well, and to build a wealth portfolio for not only you but like your kids and your family, right? It is interesting times. There's a lot of things in the marketplace at the moment. People don't know where to go. They don't have any direction. So this is why we got you on here, to facilitate, right? And to look at like offering up a strategy to help you guys understand, okay, cool, I can do this and this, just to be religious about it, right? I was talking to one of our members the other day, and she said to me, she said, I just do it every week, Cole. I go in, I have my collectible delivered every month to my door. I go in to the Sound Money wallet and I buy $50 every week. Every Monday I do it. Repeat, right? And I buy some Bitcoin as well. So that's her strategy, and it's her long-term wealth strategy, and it's quite clever. I think there's lots more I can add here, Maddie.
Yeah.
But I really want to help people with.
I'll touch base on, so when I
cool.
when I first looked at it, I think one of the things that struck me was a lot of people that want to collect and buy gold and silver will say, well, why don't I just go to the bullion? But what happens is they go, oh look, I'll do it next year, or I'll do it next year, and they never actually get around to doing it. So with us, where we can have a continuous setup per month, and we've got those coins get delivered to me every month, I don't have to go anywhere. So I'm busy working, doing my thing, and every month we've got, so FedEx is the mob that they deal with, and they're brilliant. They're always on time. There's no issues at all. So every month, I said for 12 months, I've had them deliver to my house. So it's a very good system. So that's just obviously the collectible side, and then obviously this Sound Money wallet is quite powerful. So that's why I wanted to go over this tonight, because like I said, you can use it as a payment system. I don't see there's much else around as a payment system. Look, a lot of people are not happy with crypto because, as you know, a lot of things are fluctuating. So you can use a system like this where it's bypassing crypto as well. So it's pretty smart.
Yeah, totally. And just what Matt, like how I explain this business model, if I was to explain it inside 10 seconds, is what it is a smart long-term wealth accumulation strategy. That's what we're doing here. It's very, very straightforward. I try not to confuse it with people. I have built quite a bit of a knowledge base over the last 3 or 4 years, but to simplify it, that's what it is: a smart long-term wealth accumulation strategy, and your dollar cost averaging into the gold and silver space. So we're helping people build a long-term savings plan, hedging against the inflationary dollar, and things that are out of our control, like inflation. If we weren't to buy gold and silver, or a Bitcoin as well, of course, we're putting ourselves at risk of being put in a situation where our dollar's losing value, and we go to the shops, for example, and we look on the shelves and we're like, oh my god, like I don't know how I'm gonna afford to live, right? So that's why we're adopting these strategies and helping people understand, and sharing this message, because the more people we can share this message with, the more people will be blessed with, with the power of sound money. All gold and silver it's just real money. Sound money is just another name for real money. When you
And
understand,
it's not over expensive to get started in 7K either, Cole. I mean, I think it's pretty basic.
yeah, it's super straightforward. So when you get started, you got two options, right? And Maddie will help you run through this as well. I think he might have shared that already if he hasn't. So you got two options. You've got $199 US annual membership. Again, nobody's saying that you have to be on autosaver and have silver delivered every month. We encourage it because it's putting your wealth on autopilot, right? So you're doing it there, and then you're obviously coming in here and your dollar cost averaging as well. So you're doubling down, right? So $199 will get you started if you're somebody that's like, oh, I want to dip my toes in the water. I just want to see what it's like. I want to test it out, kind of thing. Or if you're wanting to share this, maybe with friends, family, maybe with maybe you're a networker, then you have the ability to share this. And what we do is encourage people to get on the $499, which will open up a lot more business reports and sharing tools as well. So you can actually treat this like a home-based business. So there's something I want to share on that quickly as well, Maddie.
Yep.
Most of these business models, guys, like I've been doing this for 7 years. I started in consumables, meaning like, protein powders, cleansers and stuff like that. And most people just let that stuff sit on the shelf. It expires, and it just doesn't carry much value. You're targeting an audience of trying to get people healthy, or trying to, help people, feel better, look better, for example. And most people, they lose interest pretty quickly, and this is based off my experience. But if you can give them an actual asset, so you can say and explain it like you're just buying an asset every month, right? You're buying an asset every month. You're accumulating assets using a smart strategy every month, and it's actually, well, you got tax advantages as well because you've got a home-based business by default. Okay, so that's a real no-brainer. Like you're buying something every month, and it's a tax write-off, but it's something that actually has value. So I encourage people, income producing assets, things that have value, actual value. And I tell you what, this sound money wallet alone is carries so much weight, so much weight when it comes to that membership that comes around every 12 months, right? So I'm coming up to my, oh man, it'll be my 4-year anniversary soon. But yeah, there is obviously a way to have that membership paid for. If you're wanting to share this, no obligation, right? It's completely up to you. But yeah, there's so many people that need to be blessed with gold and silver. That's for sure.
Yeah, no, exactly. Hey, Paul, you got
anything else you wanted to add?
You got any questions, Paul, or it sounds pretty straightforward?
No, it sounds understood. Everything you said. This is, I think, definitely a long-term thing,
Yes.
strategy.
Yeah.
Obviously, for me, cash flow is king.
Yep.
How does it help my everyday life? Without me dipping into my bank account.
Yep.
So, like you're talking about the what do you call it? Collecting all the coins, collectibles. So
Yep.
after a certain while, you've got all these coins. How do you, unless you sell them or something, you don't realize the profit, right?
Yeah, so I will touch on that as well. The collectibles side of things is a whole different conversation. But they're two different assets. So this is obviously bullion here, which is very liquid, meaning like if Maddie wants to sell that 116 there with a click of a button, it's magical, right? He can sell it straight away.
But he sells it to the members on this platform, right?
No. He sells it back for cash. right? So just jump on there, Matty. Do a quick transaction. I know that this is a bit ruthless. So he probably doesn't want to sell, but
That's all right.
so say if he was to click on the Silver Eagle, for example,
Yep.
and he wanted to sell, he'd just click sell. And in the gold and silver industry, the buyback prices fluctuate from dealer to dealer. It really depends. And I don't say that we always have the best, because I don't want to lie to you, right? Because it's just like saying I have the best compensation plan. So I always say to people, we do have a competitive buyback price, and it's instant and it's liquid. Meaning if you wanted to, if Maddie wanted to sell, say, like $2 or $5 or whatever it might be, he
Yep.
can do that. He could sell the whole 116 and it'd be accessible cash straight away.
So sorry, the 116 there, was that the amount of, or is it silver?
That's the dollar. Now that's the dollar value of the assets that he's holding at the moment. So you just see in the background there, Paul, where it says 2.402 ounces.
Yes.
Yeah, and then that's the value, but below that, that's the market value, including the premium, obviously, because it's backed by the real product, right? So this is the cool thing about 7K is people initially they see this and they have a lot of questions around, like, why is it when I Google gold and silver, it's $25, right? But that's not actually the price of the physical product. That's just the price of that's the market value and what it trades on the paper derivatives market. Meaning, like, it's trading on the derivatives market and it's actually manipulated. I'll be honest with you, the silver should be worth a lot more. But what they do is they sell, they push the price down. Some big high power powers of the world push the price down basically because it has so much industrial use case. And its utility is huge. So I just say to myself, and I say to people around me, I say, look, I'd rather be 3 years too early than 1 day too late. So I just keep buying gold and silver. As long as it's like low like this, I just keep buying gold and silver, because I mean, 1 day they can't keep doing it forever, especially with what's happening with the monetary system. But to answer your question, that this is so liquid, it's not funny. Meaning you can just click a button and you can send it straight back to cash.
Now, I'll just touch base on the collectible part, Cole. So with me, Paul, collecting coins every month, say if those coins, I'm like, right, I want to sell them. We want to know, what they're sort of worth and how the market's going. We've got an app called Stack and Sell, and so when the coins come, they come in a hard case and they've got a scan bar. I've got a code on it, right? A scan. So a barcode. So I can, on the app on my phone, I can just hold it over the coin. It will scan it and that will put it straight into my app. I've got all my coins, everything in my app, and then that will tell you the market value. And that gives you an idea of how the price is going, whether it's going up or down. And I believe that if you did say want to sell them, there is people out there, Cole, that you can sell them to, can't you?
That's right. So the difference between the market, what we're looking at now, and this is getting deep into some serious training now. Generally, when people get started, I don't like overwhelm them with this information, but because we've gone down this rabbit hole, I will share this. So they're two very different markets. Okay, the bullion market is a market that moves, obviously, and it's tradable in the open marketplace. Okay, so it's tradable. Like if you go onto Google, you can see what it's trading at, right? Then there's a thing called premiums, right? That's what's put on the top. Every dealer will put a premium on gold and silver. The price that you see on Google is the spot value. Okay, that's the spot value of gold and silver. It doesn't mean you're going to get it for the physical product for that price. There's always going to be a premium on top. Okay, this is getting deeper into some deeper stuff, but it is important for you guys to understand. I'm kind of fast tracking your success here, but when we look at the collectible space, right? So not talking about what you're looking at here on the screen, everything that's in the Sound Money wallet is bullion. Okay, bullion, gold and silver bullion. Okay, the collectible market is a market that's really untapped. It has more upside potential because it's a market that really is an open marketplace. So what distinguishes the actual value, right? So 7K will offer up a relatively, if they produce the coins themselves, then they can really distinguish what the value is based upon what they believe and the intrinsic value of actually that product alone. Okay, so it is their flagship product. When it hits the secondary marketplace, would you believe that there's so many collectors out there? People are crazy about collectibles. Like you look at things like baseball cards and things like Pokemon cards that are just sitting on a cardboard canvas. They're not sitting on something that actually like is 100% gold or silver. It's sitting on a cardboard canvas, but what the value comes from is the story, the historical significance, the mintage, how many of them there is in the world. So all of these aspects affect the value. Okay, so in the open marketplace, like Maddie's saying about stack and sell, you're going to find that the price will be determined by what the last person bought that particular product for in that secondary marketplace. So it's not like 7K doesn't go, oh, this is how much we believe this should be. Or the actual seller on the marketplace generally, after that coin's been sold a few times, you'll be able to see what the value is based upon the previous sale. So if there's lots of people buying it, obviously it's in demand, and it'll sell out really quick, which means it'll drive the value up. So it's a bit of a scarce marketplace. It's a bit to wrap your head around to start with, but bottom line is in 2008, for example, what the wealthy were doing was a couple of things. They were diversifying inside the gold and silver space, meaning they were buying bullion as a defensive strategy, but then the collectibles were actually an offensive strategy and actually a longer term strategy because they aren't as liquid. They're not as liquid as what we're looking at now. Like this is instant liquidity. And if you know anything about cryptocurrency, liquidity is king. That is king. If you don't have liquidity in any market, you're not in business, right? So this is liquid. It's as liquid as they come. So the convenience of this is really important to understand as well. I hope that answered your question, Paul. I can circle back again if we need to. But with the liquidity side of things in the Sound Money wallet, generally people, when they buy gold and silver locally, it becomes a bit too much of a hassle to go down and actually liquidate and fill out the paperwork and all that sort of things, depending on what dealer you're dealing with. Some of them require a whole heap of paperwork. Some of them are like, just give me your cash. Or give me your gold and silver. I want your gold and silver, I will give you cash. But what I'm finding now is a lot of people are Scrooges with their gold and silver, and they're not looking to sell. And that's for a good reason, because we're in a very shaky place in the economy. And I agree with you, Paul. I agree with you. Cash flow is important. Cash flow is really important to have it coming in on a regular basis. But I think you guys have got that covered with Validus, right? That's the strategy with Validus and any other platforms maybe that you're participating in. This is more to hedge against the loss of value of the dollar. Okay, and it does have upside potential depending on if you're dealing with collectibles or you're dealing with bullion. Bullion, again, more defensive. Think of it like you're playing a game of rugby, for example. You've got to have defense and offense. So we're covering both of those bases. I hope that helped.
No, it did.
Awesome. Any other questions, guys? We'll look to wrap up shortly. If there's no other questions, Maddie, we have recorded this. So if there's anybody else that you guys had on here or wanted to have on here, Maddie has the recording of this as well.
Yeah, I've got a
maybe,
few people that couldn't get on, so I've got a few people that wanted the recording, so that's no
yeah,
drama.
cool, awesome, man. I'm happy, Paul. I'm happy to run a training as well on the collectibles if you guys want. If you want to learn more about collectibles and how we use the inventory dashboard with Stack and Sell and stuff like that. Stack and Sell is actually owned by 7K as well. Sell Money as well. Sell Money Wallet as well. So like I said, like all of this you get for your membership, right? So you're getting compressed value. Think of it like a Netflix subscription. You're not going to sign up to Netflix. Everybody has some sort of membership these days. You're not going to get started with a membership that, you know, for example, if you get a Netflix subscription and you only got horror movies to watch, you know, that you want to have some serious value in there and have some options, right? Options are king. It's really, really important. Anything else you wanted to say there, Matty?
Oh yeah, I was just going to say, and I think that's the most important point that I wanted to touch base on, just this Sound Money Wallet, because there's a lot of people that might go out there and say buy bars and hold it in a vault, or put it in a lockbox in the bank, and that's fine. But I find what this does is it's a place where you can hold your gold and silver. But if you need that, if you want to liquid that and you need the money, you've got access to do that. You've got options here. So I think that's what's so powerful, that you've got access to it if you need it.
Especially, and I'll add to that as well before we finish up, especially when it comes to the society we live in now. Yep. Believe it or not, like you guys know, we live in like this instant gratification society, right? It's like, I want everything yesterday. Right. So, you know, but we can't offer that. And I said that we don't have a crystal ball. You know, we can't really predict or give those predictions on what will happen with the gold and silver market. We can only look at the past and what happened in the past. And as we say, the past is rhyming right now. What we've seen in the past is starting to unfold, but probably 10x worse. I don't like to operate from a place of fear. Maddie knows this. I'm a real optimistic type of person. But I like to keep people informed, plugged in, and be aware of what's happening. So people need to be diversified. You've got to have multiple cash flow streams, and you've got to have multiple ways that you can diversify into tangible assets and assets that, you know, have been around for a long time, so you can build a solid wealth portfolio. So
yeah, that's right.
That's all I really have to add tonight, Maddie. I hope this helped, guys. I appreciate all of you. Super grateful for you guys hopping on a Friday night. You could have easily been out, you know, larrikining, or I'm getting a bit old for that myself. But look, I look forward to chatting to you guys soon. If you guys need anything, I'm here to support you. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. Cool.
Are you both? You're in Brisbane too, are you? Oh.
Yeah, I'm in Brisbane. We're in Brisbane, are you?
Oh no, I'm not in Brisbane. I know
not?
it is, but I'm not.
Oh, you're not. You're not. Where are you? Where are you based?
I'm in Sydney.
Oh, you're in Sydney. Not long ago I was in Sydney, actually.
Yeah.
I was down in Maroubra.
Oh
Sydney.
Yeah, I know Maroubra.
Yeah, I'm a South Sydney Rabbitohs fan, so you know.
Right. I grew up in Matraville, so.
Oh, did you? Oh,
Yep.
Next time I'm in Sydney, I'll make sure I make the effort to call in and catch up for sure.
I live in Caringbah at the moment. I'm near Cronulla.
Oh right. Yeah, nice.
I grew up in Maroubra like that.
Oh, did you? Oh, Brow Boys. Awesome, guys. Hey, it was great to meet you guys. I look forward to helping you guys out moving forward as well. So.
Okay. Yeah, no, sounds good.
Thanks, man.
Paul,
awesome.
You know how you know Nick Raditas?
Yeah.
That's Paul's spot. That's Nick's sponsor there, Paul.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. But
you've known Nick for a while, haven't you?
Yeah. I've known Nick for a while since the kind of the launch of Validus. So when are you guys heading over to Dubai?
Tuesday. Well, I'm going Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday morning.
Yeah. So Maddie tells me that Maddie and Dale are top and tailing. Oh man, I'll leave the jokes. It's still recording. I better stop being a joke. I was thinking serious. All right, I'll see you guys soon.
Cheers.
Chat soon. See you guys.
Cheers. Bye.